You're welcome to Durian. So I take you first to our bamboo nursery. This is a bamboo nursery that defines the future of so many things that we're doing here. Because one of the most important things that I want to do is to set up a bamboo center in this community. The community has a lot of bamboo, but bamboo is often seen as waste. They majorly cut it down, use it for buildings alone, supporting buildings and the likes. That's what it's used for alone. Thereafter, they either burn them or just use them for firewood as an alternative. But bamboos can be used for bicycles, they can be used for jewelries, they can be used for household items, picture frames, other very beautiful things that they are not presently being used for. So we planting this bamboo is saving the future of the bamboo center, and it's also restoring the forest back to the community, so that the community then starts seeing bamboo as value and not just as waste, or as it's often called in the community. They call it, oh, it's stubborn grass, we can't use it for anything. So that's what this is all about. It is a project that has been funded by the Pollination Project, and we're very grateful to them for that. And as we always say, it's the beginning of many beginnings. Okay, so this is our eco-friendly craft center. That's the name we call it. We call it eco-friendly craft center because we've looked around the environment and we've seen trash, we've seen PET bottles, we've seen things people think are not useful, and we're looking at building a house with it. A house that would have every other thing you're looking at. They're looking at ventilation, all of that. A complete building, really, with the PET bottles. The idea is that we use this particular space as our major training center. We want to teach people to see the value of every single thing they have around them, most especially the value of the waste that they have around them. The process of making the building is not really difficult. What we do is get a PET bottle. We pick up PET bottles from different places, from hotels, from eateries, from events. We go there, we pick up the PET bottles ourselves, fill them up in sacks and bring them to the site, and then we sand fill each one of them. So majorly fill them to be compact as possible. We keep filling them, and once they're really tight and compact, using cement or mud. Mud is most likely very eco-friendly than using cement, but we couldn't get mud around. We'll fix them together, okay? We'll fix them together. Majorly we'll see it better here. So this is the way it is. They're all fixed together and connected, and we've left this to just give it the aesthetics, the beauty of it. So we are looking at making the building almost this tall or taller than that, and all filled up with PET bottles. At the end of the day, we would have would have completed this building with more than 20,000 PET bottles. Right now, we have used close to 7,000 to 8,000 PET bottles only for the sites that we have completed. So you can imagine how much of PET bottles we take off from the environment to do a building. Now, this is the message we're sending across. Most times we say that things are difficult, so to build a house you need a lot of money and the likes. However, you can do something that is really simple, that is cost effective, easy to manage, and you still have something that is beautiful. I was reading about this some time ago also, and I found out that they have the best means of allowing air in, because it bounces back heat and the likes for the sciences of it. And then I also realized that, especially with the tires, that they are fireproof or bulletproof, or name it, because the tires are filled up with sand. Okay, so nothing can happen. So it's like building on a very solid foundation, and the solid foundation is waste. So the message here again is waste is value. Nothing is useless. So don't treat anything as really useless. So this is it about our beautiful eco-friendly craft center that is coming up. But we really have a long way to go, I must say. But we're looking forward to finishing it this year. And once it's done, I'd welcome everybody to come and say hi to our beautiful craft village. So while we were still working on this site, we started our trainings. And the essence of the training was to train people within the community to use what they have around them as a means of livelihood, to use it as a means of survival, to use it as a means to gain income for themselves, because poverty is a big issue in the community. And in the same vein, you have a lot of waste in the community. So we started teaching women to use the ways they could find around them as a means of livelihood. And so we started with this shed. This used to be a very, very small shed like what you have on the bamboo nursery, just covered with leaves and all of that. But sometime this year we started fundraising to complete this, and it's strictly made out of bamboo because we really love bamboo. And in here right now is where we call, this is our office for now. We train people in here on how to make things from waste, the cocoa pods, the bag made from fabric waste, the briquettes, the space for the children, because we have a space where children just come together and then we teach them new things while also teaching them about leadership, about reading and writing. We teach them different things. Okay, so this is the space where everything right now happens. And so this is Durian. This is just the beauty of Durian. Hi, my name is Tony Joy and I'm the founder of Durian, and that's what I do. So I do social work. Durian is an organization that empowers rural communities to become self-sufficient through transforming their local waste into value. So we go into rural communities and say, okay, what's the waste this community has got? And most rural communities have got farm waste, we have agro waste. So we teach them to use this agro waste as a means of survival. And the idea is that, one, people should stop seeing waste as waste, people should start seeing waste as value. Two, how do you create a marriage between waste management and empowerment? So how do we empower poor communities to start having a different life, especially women who go through a lot of, the effect of poverty is more felt in women. How do you empower them to start using what they have around them, usually, that's seen around them, as a means of livelihood? So one of the things, for example, is cocoa. Right now we're on the cocoa farm, so it means there's a lot of cocoa in this community, and the implication is that we have a lot of cocoa pods. But right now they don't use cocoa pods as anything. It's often left in heaps to decompose, or it's burnt down for nothing. Or people from Ibadan come into Akure to come and buy these pods, take it back to Ibadan, and then make black soaps out of it. However, we can still use the same cocoa pods here to give people a business opportunity. So we teach them to make black soaps from what they usually see as waste, the cocoa pods. The other thing is bamboo. The community has a lot of bamboo, but you wouldn't see beautiful small scale structures like this in communities like this. You just see them, making big buildings and the likes.
Okay, wait. I think you're now going too far. We're going to come to that later. We want to know your life before all this started. How was it with you before all this started?
How was it with me? That's a very, very interesting question. It seems like, okay, how did all of this start actually? Really, it's a long story. I don't know if you want to get everything.
You can cut it short.
Okay, so before this started, basically it started. It's like saying it's a part of my life. It's like saying it's a core of my being, because I went through a lot, growing up. There are stories that people don't say or people don't want to talk about. But I went through a lot of poverty. I went through a lot of low self-esteem. I went through a lot of struggles within myself to identify who I am, what I am, why on earth am I living. I've attempted suicide twice in my life because I was just trying to figure out what on earth am I doing in my life. I've tried consciously just being in front of a moving vehicle just to have a car hit me, because it's frustrating to live on earth when people keep telling you are useless, when people keep telling you you're a waste, when people keep telling you I'm nothing for nothing, and these are things I heard almost all through my life when I was growing up, and all of this influenced me in one way or the other. But there was a break point for all of that, and then the break point came when I went to the university. The break point came in really when I went to the university, and I started meeting up with people. And so people would come to me who has low self-esteem, or me who is suffering from depression, or me who don't even have food, or me who wear the same clothes every day. And then they'll come up to me and tell me, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. And I'm like, okay, you guys don't know anything. I'm sure even you didn't know any of that, because then I was trying to figure out my life, and then people are coming to me and telling me we wanted to be a leader, and I'm like, okay, you guys don't know what I'm going through at all, and that was like kind of the beginning of the break point for me. That was when I started seeing the value of people. That was when I started relating with people. That's when I started finding myself, and it was at that point I thought.
Do you have any mentor?
I didn't have any mentor. That's the funny
all
thing.
This coming out of your shell, coming out of all that,
It just
putting all that
happened.
behind you, how did it?
I don't know. I think it was a process because it's been a long process. That's the truth. It's been a very long process. What happened was that I just figured out one day that yes, I used to be called waste. That's the truth. They used to tell me I'm useless, and of course I had different kind of mannerisms growing up that people didn't really like. It wasn't feminine, so everybody was like, "What kind of a child is this?" and all of that.
They called it tomboy.
They called me all kinds of names: tomboy,
Okay.
that useless girl, that girl that does like a boy, see that person, that one that bends her back. So there was a lot of negativity, you know. And there was a time I just started figuring out that okay, if I have a lot of negativity, and I still have people who still come to me, this negative person, and they say, we want to find out how to live our lives better. Okay, something that I'm not negative. Okay, so that was the breaking point for me. It's not like I had a mentor, because I tell you the truth, all the mentors I went to, and I'm not saying this to shame anybody, so no name calling, but all the mentors I think I went through, and two, they didn't add value to me. I had my first assault from someone who should be a mentor. When I mean assault, I mean sexual assault from someone who should be a mentor. So at that point, it was like the whole world was crashing on me. I didn't have that person to look up to. So, but it was just the people. It was the drums that I would play in church then. It was the music I found myself in the choir that gave me a sense of realization that I was not useless. And it was then I said, I'm going to start listening to people's story. So I started doing a few events in school. And then I realized that people were like me. I realized that 1,001 people in this world that are like me. Or who I even was than the situation I found myself. Okay? And I just said, okay, if this is the case, and if I, in putting it in the metaphorical way, if I am waste that's been given another opportunity to live a better life, how about if I just spend my whole life with people who are like me? The poor, the marginalized, the people who nobody wants to talk about, the people who are often left in the box. Okay, so I think that was...
Other people's experience was what inspired all of this.
I'm telling you, other people's experiences is what brought me out. People telling me their experience. And it's not just about other people's, it's about the confidence they had to come and tell me who is going through all kinds of shit they don't even know about their experiences. That was like the greatest gift that I had at that point, and that's what led to this breakthrough of, okay, I want to spend my time with people who are poor and marginalized.
Okay, so how did you choose what to recycle? How did you come about choosing what you're recycling now?
Okay, so I think that it started from cleaning up a dump
And
site.
why waste?
Why waste?
Yeah.
It started off from cleaning up a dump site.
Okay.
So in 2016, that was when all of this started fully. 2015, February 17, 2015, that was when all of this started fully. So I gathered young people and I said, okay, let's go and clean up a dump site in Akure, Ondo State here. And after cleaning up the dump site, I realized I like the waste. I just like it. They say it stinks, it smells bad, but for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, it doesn't really disturb me. So I just started, okay, there's something with me and this.
You don't think of the health?
I didn't even use a glove the first day I was cleaning a dump site because I just fell in love with waste. Okay, and for the first like 2 months, I didn't realize there's something connected between me and waste.
So how did you gather the people that you used to clean the
That was like the first breakthrough I've ever had. I used to social media, like I want to clean the dump site because I want to prove a point. The thing is, I wanted to prove a point that young people are not useless.
Okay.
Because I've heard too much of useless waste all of that. I'm like, how can you tell? So I was pissed off, and I just wanted to prove a point. I used social media. I've got a lot of people, and surprisingly, it was not just in Ondo State. It was cut across Ekiti. Some people we had volunteers from Jos. We had people from Edo.
They all came here.
No, they didn't come. They had their own dump sites back at home. So it's like each person now created their own groups. They started cleaning up dump sites. Okay, and that was like the big experience I had with waste. So after that, I was like, it's more than just waste. There's something more to it. So I'll pick up PET bottles and I'll make handbands from it, and it worked. Oh, cool. I made earrings from it. It worked. Cool. I made table mats. It worked. I was like, okay, we can do something more with waste. Okay. And remember, I was often told I was a waste, and I made a decision. I wanted to spend my life with people like me who are not often seen, you know, and outside. They're always put in the margins. I said I wanted to do that, and this is me falling in love with physical waste. Okay. So let us bring together waste and waste. We bring waste from the environment and people who you don't value, bring them together, create a marriage, and then use that as a tool for empowerment. So that was where all the thing about waste started from. Why waste? I think it's because unconsciously people have told me I'm a waste, and I saw the value of waste. So like I would say, I think I'm the metaphor called waste that's been given another opportunity to retell my story. And I think that's why I'm using waste again to retell that story for as many people as possible. Let's retell stories. Let's not box people. Let's not say rural is poor and marginalized. Rural could all actually be cool and creative. We can retell that story, you know, and that's where the drive started really.
So how has been the like the feedback? No, like how did you gather people to do all of this? Like the nursery, the other one where you have boxes and all that. And how did you gather people? Are they from this area or they are from far places?
So when I came into the community in 2016,
Did you grow up here?
At all, I didn't grow up here.
Did you know anybody here?
I didn't know anybody here. So
So
I
you
schooled in
just,
Ife,
Okay.
and I was done from school. I just woke up one day. I was like, I'm going to Akure, and that's how I found myself in Akure.
So how did you
Strange.
gather them?
So I started working with an NGO at a point. So I'd already gone into a few communities
In Akure?
in Akure,
Okay.
and so I'd seen that these are some of the things I really want to do. Okay, and one of the things I learned from the NGO where I was working is community entrance. How do you get into communities?
Okay.
So when I came into this community, and the first time I came into this community, I came to see someone who also runs an organization here. It's called Springboard. I came to see them, and that was the first encounter I had with the community. I was like, okay, I want to do something in this community because I think I like it. It's nature, it's all of that, what I like. And I decided I was going to do a major community entrance with visiting the KBSC and telling him, okay, I want to do A, B, C, and D in your community. And so I couldn't meet with the KBSC then actually because I was already traveled. So I met with the head of women in the community, and that was how we started. I just told her this is what I want to do. I told her first of all that we're going to shoot a movie that has to do with empowering the girls. Let us see we want to hear from the women, we want to hear from the girls what they go through in the community.
So is that how you got this land?
That's how everything started. Getting the land, how we are here. It's through the head of women in the community. This is actually a space. She owns the plot, and she says, okay, we can have half of the plots of a particular period of time, and that's how we continue building up the relationship.
Okay.
in the community.
So let's move away from this a little bit. How has been a Nigerian woman? How have you felt like being a Nigerian woman?
Aha! How have I felt like being a Nigerian woman?
Like you know this dogma,
yeah,
this-
I think I understand what you're saying. It's been interesting for me. I because the usual
positively
word,
interesting or
the
negatively
usual word is
interesting?
challenging, right?
Okay, challenging.
The usual word is challenging. However, I would say it's been interesting for me because breaking the box requires a lot of confidence. Breaking the box requires a lot of strength. And if you make a decision to break a box, you should be able to be ready to face the challenges that come with it. Okay? So that's why I say it's interesting because every day you see people who think you are not human enough to do anything. Who think it's not about even being a woman, it's just the fact that you are not human enough or you're not worthy enough to start up something. It doesn't end at that. You're a young woman, what are you doing? It doesn't end at that. You're a young woman who has the mannerism of a guy. Who the hell are you? You know, so it's for me, it's multiple levels. It's not just one level of being a woman. It's a level of having very different kinds of, people view of you. And, I've had people tell me that I should quit this and go and get a job. Like, I'm wasting my time. What am I doing here? And I've had people tell me I'm too young to start up anything. I've had people tell me if I want to get something, I should give what I have to get what I want. It's that.
What does that even mean?
It means it's just one night, just one night, just because I want grants, because to run things like this, you have to
for grants.
I mean, it's not international grants. So philanthropy support, for example,
okay.
I want a philanthropy support. I want a donation. Maybe grant is too big. I want a donation, and they are requesting that I use my body to get a donation to run something that is creating a difference in the world. Not just because this is a future. We're looking at the future. We're not looking at now. We're looking at the children you see around us. The future of that. That's what we're trying to look at. They're not interested in all of that story. You're a woman. That's the most important thing, and you have this thing. So, my dear, give us what we want, and you get money.
Okay, tell us a little about mad initiatives, but that was when we were saying,
Yeah.
on social media. Tell us about mad.
Okay, so when we started in 2015,
What does mad even mean?
Okay, mad. That's what it means.
Okay.
So when we started in 2015, we started with the name Mad, and the idea, and I told you that we wanted to change that idea of saying young people are useless.
Okay.
So we just had this energy that we are mad, we are different. So it means we are making a difference, and that was all. That's the energy we started with. And so we'd go, we clean up dump sites. We had different kinds of dump site cleanups with that voice of we are different. Don't tell us we are useless. Don't say that to us. It's mean to say we are useless. Don't tell us we are not teachable. It's mean.
Okay, you keep mentioning we. How did you get so much support then? Like, did they come as partners? Did they come as support?
So,
how did they come in?
We are the young people. It was basically just young people.
Okay.
I put up something on
Young
social
ladies,
media. Not just ladies, just mix of everybody. I just put up something on social media, and then we had a couple of people said they want to do this. And so that's how we really started. So we are making a difference. So it started with We Are Mad Initiative, and we transformed into Mad Initiative. And then at some point we started need to register as organization. So we registered as a non-profit, as Making a Difference Foundation. Okay. And that kept on running till late 2017, early 2017. I had the opportunity to go to Kantari to study. Kantari is an institute in India where you learn about leadership. And so when I was at Kantari, I call it the best process of catalyzing me and also breaking me. It was there I discovered there is more to what I can do. Okay, and that gave birth to a child of Making a Difference Foundation, which is Durian today.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
And Durian it's amazing. Durian is a fruit. I don't know if you know that. It's a fruit that looks like jackfruit. It's majorly in the Southeast Asia and the likes.
You have it around here?
We don't have it here.
Okay.
But this is the beautiful thing about the fruit. It's a contrast. Durian is a fruit that stink. Like it has sulfuric smells, really sulfuric, like sulfuric smell, really bad. But it tastes so good. It's the most beautiful contrast I've found. I know that's like funny and strange.
You found it in India, right?
Yeah, I found about it in India, and it's like, this is exactly what I want to talk about. Okay? People see people and judge us from the outside, but they don't see the beauty of the taste that is within us. They can't even imagine it. So what we're trying to say is don't look at us. Just look at us and say you're poor and marginalized. And like, we are beautiful. Rural communities are often seen as poor and marginalized, right? But rural communities are beautiful. Where on earth do you find this amazing nature? Where on earth do you still find mud houses that are cold? Where on earth do you still find ikoko used for water? Where on earth do you still find culture? Rural is beautiful, and that's the contrast. The other thing is waste. Waste stinks, right? Nobody wants to relate with waste, but waste is value. Waste is solution. Waste is a means of livelihood. So, Durian, waste. They're just like the best. That's what I was just trying to get. And again, myself, Tony Joy, seen as a waste. But I'm no longer that person. I'm beautiful. There's a content that has been given that I can share with so many people. So the message is, don't look at the outside and the smell, but go beyond that and see what is within. And that's how the name Durian started.
Okay, so I just wanted to shout out to yourself, shout out to ladies out there who are struggling, people who have gone through probably sexual assault, people, ladies who are struggling to come out of that hole that they all impact in. Shout out to all children, children in rural communities.
Okay, so I think I just want to say really big shout out. That's the first thing I would say. Like a big shout out to all the ladies.
Do you have a younger self that you want to shout out to?
To the younger me.
Your younger you, yeah.
If I want to shout out to the younger me, I'll be like, hey, younger me, how are you doing? It's been long. I've found I didn't have that younger me, So if I really want to shout out to younger me, I have to go back in time. Like, younger me, how are you doing? I've missed you. Okay, but really, to every other person out there who is going through different kinds of cage, who is being told they are poor and they are marginalized, who's being told they can't amount into anything, break that box yourself. If you don't break it, I don't know what will happen. You might be there for long. Break it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be harsh, but you can break it. You can break it. It's difficult to really. I wish I can tell you my whole story. It's really hard, but you can break the box. Do something. Move from there. If it's the environment that is making things difficult for you, move. If I don't know, just take a step. That's for those people who can make that move. Now, if you fall within the category of people who really need a push, reach out to people who can actually push you. Don't reach out to the wrong people. I reached out to a lot of wrong people in my life, and I wouldn't want women and ladies to do that. Reach out to the right people who can push you towards being where you want to be. And for children, the children need our support. I mean, I'm not going to tell the child to push. No. Children need our support. They need a space to learn. So for every other person out there who has the opportunity to create facilities for children to learn, who have the opportunities to create spaces for children to learn, please do. Especially in rural communities, because people in rural communities are going through a lot that you can't tell. Their parents can't really afford to send them to school. You know, the parents cannot afford meals in a day. You can imagine what children face. They don't drink good water. Not all, but the ones I've seen around, they don't drink good water. You know, and they have a lot of health challenges. They don't have health centers. So there's a lot that needs to be done to reach out to these people. So why my heart reaches out to them a lot every single day, my heart reaches out to everybody on earth who is going through any form of marginalization as a result of any reason. My heart reaches out to them. However, I find this so much bond with those in the rural communities, because you know what we see on the news every day is what happens in the city. But see, the worst of it all happens here. It's like we're at the margin, we're just down there, nobody sees them, nobody feels them, nobody feels their pain. You know, an example is after this community, the next community doesn't have electricity. And they've not had electricity for how long? I don't know, for long. Even though there's wire passing through the community, they don't have lights. I don't know what like the bulb is like. So imagine they're running a business without electricity now in this generation. It doesn't work. You know, so as many people out there who can reach out to rural communities, who can reach out to people who are poor, who are marginalized, who can reach out to women, you know, who can reach out to people who are going through pain. Please reach out to as many people as you can reach out to, because the world needs more people to solve the problems. It's not just about Durian or one organization. We need a lot more people to solve the problems. And for people like me who have had the opportunity to go through pain and I've been able to come out of it by reason of grace, please reach out to others. Help someone come out of their own pain. Help someone come out of their own box, because that's the only way we can fight all the structures we're talking about. You know, there's a lot of structures and we need more people who are bold, brave and confident to break the box. You know, so I think that's really from my heart what I can say to people who are going through a lot. Please do something, move, please. You can't stay in the same position and expect things to change. It's really hard. I feel it, I know it, I understand it, but you can go beyond that. You are more than just that, you know. I tell you, you're more than just a waste. You're more than just that box. You're 1,000 more than that. So explore it and move. Find support, and when you're out of it, lift other people also.
Alright, so thank you. That is Tony Joy, someone who has been creating a community out of waste. She has created like 3 spaces where people can learn, where they can do things. You know, it's amazing. Unless you're here, you can't really understand what is going on here. And the children are quite happy. You know, I've met some of them. You might see some of them speaking to you after this. Then after now, you will see some of the things that she has done, and I hope, as she has said,
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Like nothing I found, my mind overwhelmed. I think that I'm broken, but I hope you can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I feel far more worthless. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that.
B stands for?
B stands for me. We have me and our miss. Like someone is Remy.
Okay.
Another person is Margaret. We have Emmanuel. Then we have Yemi.
Okay.
That's what gives us Bomi. So since we are producing herbal soap, because it's not just soap, it's herbal, because it's the combination of cocoa, aloe vera, and some stuff like we have the herbal leaves that we are including to it.
But apart from Telgojo,
That's the thing.
Telgojo.
So we have thought about the logo as well. So we think in that inside that name Bomi, the O in it can be cocoa.
Ah, okay.
We can just
I like it.
make it cocoa. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then the wife, possibly the wife can be aloe vera. Aloe vera leaf.
Really, I like it. I like it.
Yes. That's what we have agreed on.
Okay, we'll design it.
And then the product color, we are going to give it very shouty color, the color that is obvious, that is attractive.
Okay.
So we have thought of a lemon color and lemon green. We should have used lemon and red, but we want our durian color to
Yellow
be
to be
included in it. That's why we are including the yellow to it. So we are having lemon, yellow, and red.
And that's what it's
Yeah, that's it
for the soap service.
Yes. So as for the school bags stuff, we are going to have something like a label
On the bag.
Something it will look like the badge that school children place on their uniform. So it's going to be the Bome logo. We are going to do it as a material. So that while we are sewing, we can attach it from both, maybe inside or outside. That's how it's going to be. Then it's going to be not just it won't be just leather. It could be Ankara, because it might come as fashion bag, not just school bag. You know?
Yeah.
And then the product logo will be the bonus logo that we
The one with the same logo.
It's going to have cocoa and the aloe vera
The same.
Is going to be there because the product is coming.
It's coming from the same location.
Same Bome group and association.
Okay, so the thing is that we want to leave the name of the group as Bome itself. That's also I like it. I like it. Yeah. Okay, so I think basically this is everything that we need for now. I'm just going to put this somewhere on the wall. I'm going to put it, we'll get a notice board. I'll put it on a notice board, so it's always going to be there. The thing is that we want to be able to stick to this as a plan. After the soap that we do today, I was telling you that we're looking at setting up a workspace. Yeah, so we'll try as much as we can set up that workspace. I'm not sure if it will be ending of April or May. Well, I'm planning for May that we start production, especially for the soaps. Because for the soap, we can easily get the raw material. For this, we need to get the sewing machines. And it's not just one. One get sewing machine, we are going to get maybe 2 or 3. And if we get 2 or 3, we still have to set up this place. So it's different, but for the soap, we can, this space is still open for now. We can make soaps there, package it here. It's not disturbing anybody. So very, as soon as we can, we'll see if we can do this logo. Is there any, you just want us to write it like BOMEY and just cocoa and aloe vera. That's all. If I'll try and see if I can do it. If not, I just need to someone to help us do it. But if I can do it, I'll come up with it. Then maybe we're here on Friday. We'll finish on Friday. Are we finishing tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow we are finishing.